Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers on the same page on social media. But why this particular page, and how nervous should it make Packers fans? The Cleveland Browns are almost back. How crucial will Odell be to Cleveland's Super Bowl chances? And haters will say this is photoshopped. And people who don't know how Photoshop works. Tom Brady having some fun with the jugs machine. And with that, we say good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to a great show here on First Things First. Joy Taylor, my girl Joy's in for Nick today. We got Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. All right, Brandon.
Oh, it's going to be a better show. No
accuracy.
Nick. We have Joy.
Nick. We have Joy.
Let's go.
How about this video? Does this not spell back-to-back titles for you? Just seeing this right here.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bucks are ready. Brady's ready. Are you in?
Going, back to back. Yes, it is. Let's go. Let's go.
Brandon believes. All right. We're going to start with something much less impressive than what Brady did. It's what Team USA did. Team USA basketball playing their Olympic opener against France. Remember those shaky exhibition games that we watched? Well, it carried over to yesterday as they failed to beat the French team. Stunning loss for Team USA. Their first Olympic loss since 2004. Friends was still on the air at the time. Friends! The French finished the game on a 16-2 run while Team USA missed their final 9 shots. Not great when Evan Fournier outscores KD, Dame, and Booker combined, guys. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. What is your level of concern for Team USA after dropping their opener to France?
I'm extremely concerned, but I'm also torn at the same time. I keep going back to Kobe Bean Bryant's comments back in 2019 where he says, listen, guys, don't be surprised. Everyone else is catching up to us. We're not going to be able to run the world like we used to when you talk about basketball. Coach Popovich, he keeps saying the same thing. Guys, look, don't be surprised. When you lose, you should be disappointed, but don't be surprised. The French are a really good team. For some reason, Joy, we can't seem to beat the French. Go back to 2 years ago. You go back to a couple nights ago. We just can't beat them. Look, in the fourth quarter, the last 2 times we played them, we've been in a perfect position. Then they go on these amazing runs. 2 years ago, they go on a 22-5 run in the fourth quarter to close us out. And then they go on a 16-5 run in Tokyo to close us out. I don't understand what the problem is. I understand that we have the best players, but it seems like we don't have the best team. And so moving forward, they still have a chance. They still have 2 games left in this pool to make it to the medal round. And if they get there, then they still can have exactly what they came for. But right now, you should be concerned. KD doesn't look like KD. Drew Holiday stepped in, and Drew Holiday looked good. But Dame Lillard and Levine, they seem to be trying to figure out, like, who am I? How do I fit in this team of filled with superstars? I don't understand it, Joy. Coach Popovich needs to get his thumb on this thing ASAP.
I agree. I'm also extremely concerned. I do think that there are a lot of reasons for this other than just the rest of the world is catching up with us, which Kobe was correct. They are. Now, we don't want to hear that as Americans in the greatest country in the world and we run everything, but it's true. And it's really a good thing for the game of basketball, and it is a big result of the greatest men's basketball Olympic team, which was the Dream Team, which really made basketball a international sport and brought a lot of attention, and that's why all of these NBA players are doing so well for their countries, Luka being one of them, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But there are some legitimate reasons why Team USA is struggling, and you mentioned the exhibition games, which were concerning, but we kind of were like, well, you know, they're trying to get some continuity together. We'll see. Maybe they weren't in shape. Popovich had all these reasons. Well, the whole team hasn't really even been together. Booker, Middleton, and Holiday just got there a few hours before the game. We added how many new pieces because of all the COVID issues. There's a lot of lack of continuity. We're not really a team. The guys aren't necessarily responding to Popovich's style because they haven't been together for a long enough time to really implement plays. And no matter how great all these individual players are, which we do have the greatest collection of players on Team USA, they're not a team yet. I don't buy into that they don't have the national pride and desire to win. And not only are these guys professionals and the best in the NBA, some of the best players in the NBA, but they also are playing for the Olympic team for a reason. They care about winning. They're not going through all of the stress and trouble and travel of going to the Olympics, especially in a year like this, to just go mail it in. But I do think there are legitimate reasons why they're struggling.
Yeah, so I think you're 100% right, Joy. I think the biggest reason, you touched on it, is consistency. Like, the rest of the world is committed to winning international basketball tournaments, and we are committed to playing musical chairs. So the team that just beat us yesterday had 4 of their 5 starters also played in the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Here's who we had playing in the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Here's our squad. Derek White, Donovan, Joe Harris, Marcus Smart, Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, Mason Plumlee, Miles Turner, Brooke Lopez, Kemba, Tatum, and Middleton. Only Tatum and Middleton are still on the team. Meanwhile, France has their core 4. It's Gobert, Gobert, Batum, Fournier, and DeColo. So while we sort of keep on switching our teams, every other team keeps their core guys. Australia kept their core guys. That's why they beat us in the exhibition game. And I know that there's an argument like, well, we're so good, you know, we can make up that gap. Here's what Coach Pop said. If we can throw up the quote panel on Coach Pop. They said, because we've had so little time together, just like Joy was saying, Pop said because of the truncated nature of Team USA's training camp, the offense would be based on concepts instead of set play. So look, I like a good concept, you know, if we're in philosophy class, but I would prefer to have plays, which, Brandon, these other teams have. So we're still sort of piecemealing it together. The other teams are sort of this unified group that's been playing together for years in these international tournaments.
Yeah, but I'm not buying that. Concept should work. I mean, yes, you don't have this core group of guys playing basketball together, you know, in FIBA and, you know, year round. But at the end of the day, these guys are extremely familiar with each other. These guys play how many games against each other every single year, watching film, breaking down, you know, each other's games and strategizing. They play in Vegas in the offseason. They go to New York and play in the Summit with Carmelo Anthony, LeBron, KD. You see, these guys are familiar with each other. They're the best.
That does not count.
Yes, it does count. They're the best basketball players in the whole wide world.
That does not count. That does not transfer to the Olympics.
Here's the thing. You know what needs to happen? You know what needs to happen? This is what needs to happen. KD, don't get in foul trouble. I mean, we had KD guarding Gobert. That was a problem. He got in foul trouble early, then ended up fouling out. But we need KD just to take this team and go out there and drop 40 a night. That's the only way we're going to get out of this. Jenna, I'm concerned. Joy's concerned. Wild seems to be concerned. Look, we don't need plays. We don't need that. We just need the best players in the world just putting the basketball in a hoop. That's what we need.
Can I make a suggestion? Joy, how much of this do you place on Pop? Pop is supposed to know it all. Even if he's selling concepts instead of plays, if there's anyone that can sell the concepts, it's Greg Popovich. How much blame do you put on the shaky exhibition games and what happened against France on Greg Popovich?
I mean, I think he has to take some of the blame. The continuity issues are an issue, but you knew that that was going to be a problem. You knew when Holiday, Middleton, and Booker were going to get there. And other than Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, everyone else in this team, this is their first Olympics. So there's very little experience in this space. There's very limited experience together. And you knew all this going in. And also, this is Popovich's first Olympics as well. So even though Popovich is a legend and obviously a very highly respected coach, or he wouldn't be there, I think that there are some major gaps in how all this is going to come together. Now, I don't think we need to completely panic just yet. It's definitely, I'm extremely concerned because moving on, the teams are going to get better and they're coming with a lot of continuity. But, you know, we have Iran on Wednesday and then Czech Republic on Saturday. Win those 2 games and then start getting things rolling. Look, we talked about the Brooklyn Nets a lot this season, and a big problem that we talked about was they didn't have any continuity. They were the super team this year, and they didn't have a chance to play together. This is not a concept that is foreign to basketball, that you guys need to be on the court together even though you're great players.
Joy, they need to put that.
I agree with 99% of the things that Joy just said, except the 1% was that I should not be panicked. I'm beyond panicked. I am terrified. I don't think we're going to medal. I think we're going to go home early. I think it's going to be embarrassing. I think I'm going to have to just watch more swimming and less basketball.
Where's your faith?
Have hope.
Oh, the
rare
not in this one. I want to win.
The rare half-empty cup for. Hey, silver lining here, guys. This is just group play. Joy mentioned it. They can redeem themselves Wednesday. They'll take on Iran. But again, it gets harder from here. All right, let's switch gears. Talk some football now. What is going on with Michael Thomas down in New Orleans? We'll fill you in. But first, Tom Brady setting the internet abuzz with his pinpoint accuracy.